Ooh, it's a little bit cold in here, so I'm just gonna wear a jacket while I do this video here. I'm also wearing a hat. I just want to, I know some people think it's a bit rude when you wear hats in videos and stuff, but it's because I'm growing out my hair and it's very awkward right now. So the hat is it's a better solution with the hat than if I were to take it off. It's 2020 and we had New Year's Eve just about 6 days ago. I don't know when this video is going to be out, hopefully the same day as I'm making it today. But I thought it'd be a good idea to just sort of reflect back on where the channel has come from, how it started, and the sort of path that it's taken to the point where it is right now, and where I want the channel to go in the future. Back in 2012, I just finished my degree in marketing management, which is completely different than what we do in this channel here. Basically, marketing management is you learn about marketing and you work in a marketing department in a company. And during my internship, during the ending phase of getting my degree, I had to go to a company and help them out for about 6 months with whatever task they might want me to do. And then I had to write my thesis on it. Now, the thing about this company was that when you went in, you had to go upstairs, and then to the left side, you had the marketing department with people, dressed in business suits, taking phone calls, doing various things related to marketing and communication and logistics. And then you had the right side that had the creative department with a bunch of people sitting there doing websites. They were doing video production. They were doing all sorts of fun creative stuff. They had music going on in there. They had bouncy balls they were sitting on to help with back issues and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun inside if you went to the right. But to the left, it was very corporate and not as much something that I thought that I might want to get into. So by the end of that internship, after finishing my marketing degree, I decided to go in a different path. So I started studying something called Multimedia Design. Now, Multimedia Design, for people who don't know, is a 2-year degree, at least during the time I was studying it. It was a 2-year degree, and they teach a little bit of everything. So they teach animation, video production, web development, graphic design, the business side of things as well. And by the end of that time, you had to decide whether you wanted to pursue one of those different subjects or if you just wanted to stick to your 2-year degree. Me, as the person I am, decided to pursue a bachelor's degree in web development. And after finishing my bachelor's, I then decided to continue on and studying a master's degree in web communication. Now, we have something here in Denmark called SU, which is a form of student support that we do in Scandinavian countries. Basically, we pay very high taxes here, but then the government also supports students that wants to study. So we basically get paid a monthly salary just to study, like to be in school. So we don't have to go out and get a second job or something. And because I decided to study my marketing management degree before I started my actual pursuit to something I actually enjoyed doing, I ran out of SU because you only have a certain amount of months that you can actually get it. So I was halfway through my web communications degree, my master's degree. And I decided that, okay, should I continue on doing this degree, but also do work on the side as well? Or should I start pursuing my YouTube channel a little bit more seriously, which I had already at that point reached about 100,000 subscribers. I think I just hit by the time. And I had to decide, did I just want to keep studying, or did I want to continue building on this thing, which was my channel, that I was very proud of. I don't think a lot of people would choose to abandon their education in order to do YouTube full time, but that's what I decided to do. And I still have my bachelor's degree behind me. So, it's not like I don't have anything. I just didn't finish my master's degree. But I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because we have to take a step back to 2012, back when I actually started the YouTube channel. Back then, I started the channel because our teacher didn't explain things in a very simplified way. I think that I noticed that a lot of teachers, they tend to forget is that they have been doing a certain thing for 20 years. And when they teach that on to somebody who hasn't done anything of it at all, they tend to teach it by expecting them to know the basics first. And the thing that I did on my channel back then is I taught the same lessons that the teachers taught, and I would use my lessons in order to help people step into or ease in to the subject a little bit more slowly than the teacher was teaching. It would sort of give them this epiphany, you know, like oh, so that's what the whole thing is about. So that from there on, they themselves could actually keep up with the teacher inside our classes. And for some reason, those lessons that was just meant to be used privately actually ended up being watched by many others on YouTube, and at some point blew up to the channel that you see in front of you today. Back then, I called my channel The Gaming Viking because it was 2012. So, you know, Ray William Johnson was still at his peak. Gaming channels were still this very new thing, and PewDiePie wasn't famous yet. People were still trying to like sort of touch on what YouTube was supposed to grow into, which a few years later turned into a gaming platform where people would do Let's Plays and stuff like that. So my channel was called The Gaming Viking to start with. And then I reached a point where I also had a very good mixture of tutorials on my channel. So I thought, okay, so maybe don't call it The Gaming Viking. Now you might think that I called it mmtuts, but I actually changed the name multiple times. I changed it from The Gaming Viking to something called Charmefis, which is a username that has followed me since 7th grade. Later on, once I actually finished my bachelor's degree, right before I had to start my master's degree, I changed the channel name to mmtuts. This was the same time when I met my girlfriend. She told me that I should go on YouTube a little bit more seriously because she could actually see it going somewhere, because not a lot of people, they seemed as excited about YouTube as I did. So I decided to go on YouTube a little bit more seriously. I deleted all my gameplay videos that I had on the channel back then because they were still up on the channel back in 2000. I think this was about 2016. I still had all my gameplay videos, at least all the good ones, but I decided to take them down and just have tutorials on this channel here. And that's what the YouTube channel has come to be today. Now it's just tutorials. I think at some point along the way, I reached a point where I kind of forgot about what made me happy when it came to making this YouTube channel. One thing was I enjoy making tutorials. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy making tutorials. Let me use an analogy, because I think it's a thing that I tend to do. I use analogies to make people understand things in my perspective. Imagine sitting at a workplace, let's say an office building. And at your desk, you have many different tasks you can do. The thing is, you have one particular task that everyone in the building wants you to do. If you don't do that task every single day, then they will look at you funny. They will look at you and kind of go, we don't like that, you know. We might come after you if you start touching these other things. So what I do to be safe is I stick to that one particular task for 8 years. After 8 years, you kind of become a little bit burned out on that one particular work task. You want to step into the other fun stuff, but because you're scared of what might happen, what other people might think about you, are people going to get mad at you? Are they going to come after you? Are they going to be okay with it? Are they going to be understanding? I don't know. So, you know, I kind of reach a point now where I want to step away from doing one particular task and do some other content. Did I just step out of my analogy there for a second? I think I just did. What I'm trying to get at here is it's 2020 and my channel has been about a certain thing for about 8 years now since I started the channel. And I have redone courses many different times. My HTML course has been redone, I think 3 or 4 times. My JavaScript course has been redone 2 times. My channel has reached a specific image right now that says that my channel is about tutorials. If you come to my channel, you will find tutorials. Don't get me wrong, I love doing tutorials, but I don't love doing it 8 years in a row and feeling that I will get punished if I do something that is not tutorials. I've actually tried uploading different content to my channel here within the past year, in fact, that was not tutorials. And it didn't really receive a negative backlash, but it did receive mixed reactions from people because they were expecting tutorials. And this is also why I feel that it's a little bit of a scary step to step away from tutorials for a little bit, do something that actually makes me happy to do on the channel, because tutorials, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with doing tutorials, but I'm not okay with doing it as the only thing I'm doing on the channel. Just to sort of address my upload schedule, I've actually been told not to talk about my upload schedule in this video here, but I think it's important to talk about. The reason that you're seeing about one video every 3 weeks or so right now is because I have to make tutorials. Of course, that's what the channel is about. But it's kind of difficult when you feel burned out about something to get yourself motivated to do it. You start doing other things instead. You start developing like a video game or something, which I've been working on for the past week or so. I wanted to do this developer vlog where I create video games as a person who's never created one before. And then I do a documentary about showing what the process is like for somebody who's never done it before. I have done a stream in the past on this channel where I did video game artwork, you know, pixel art. Which was my first actual stream on this channel here. And I haven't really done anything in streaming since then, because again, it sort of got mixed feelings from people, because this is not tutorials. What is this? People would say. So I kind of stepped away from it again. But I want to do some other things on this channel. I want to do some different things that I'm kind of excited about. Some things that is not tutorials every single day, that can actually get me hyped again about making tutorials. Because it's kind of like eating chocolate. Chocolate is fine once in a while, but if you eat it again and again and again and again, at some point you want something different than chocolate. You don't want to keep eating chocolate. But at the same time, if you were to take a step away from the chocolate, eat something else for a short period of time, then you kind of start missing chocolate again. So what I'm trying to say here is that I want to keep making tutorials, but I don't want to do it right now. I'm kind of burned out about it. So my goal for 2020 regarding my content is that I want to take a step out of my comfort zone. I want to try to take a leap of faith into a scary unknown, and kind of not care about how people react to the content that I put up on my channel. Because I know there's going to be people who are going to be very unhappy if I put up content that is not my usual tutorials. But I've decided that, you know, I shouldn't hold myself back anymore. I should just upload the content that I want to upload to my channel and see how that goes for a short while. I want to do a period where I just don't do tutorials. I want to try and take that step into the unknown. I want to try to upload some content that people are not necessarily going to be happy about because it's not my usual tutorials. And I want to do that for a period of time, because I want to be at a point again in the future where I can be excited about making tutorials. I know a lot of the people who watches my content on my channel are very good people. They're very kind. When I look at the comment sections on my videos, it's overflooded by positive comments, and it's very good to see that my channel is attracting that sort of people to the channel. But there's also the occasional toxic person that comes in from time to time, and the tutorial is not the tutorial that they expected to see. They wanted to see something from one particular course, but I uploaded something from another course. How dare I? And then they start going on a, you know, toxic rant on my video. It's that type of person who will also be very unhappy about this particular video I'm making right now. Because how dare I say that I will take a break from making tutorials? How dare I say that I want to be happy about the content that I upload? I just need to produce the content that they need to have right now. And but like I said, 99% of you are going to be kind people. There's a lot of people watching my videos, and it's really like, I'll talk about maybe twice a week. I get a very negative person who will say some mean stuff in the comment sections. 99% of you guys are very good people. And that's one of the points that I need to make sure I make across here. I'm not saying a lot of people are being very idiotic when it comes to my comment section. Most of you guys are very good. If I don't please the people who are watching my channel, I get this like, you know, uppercut into my stomach feeling that, oh no, I made something that made people unhappy. And it's that sort of thing that should not be a thing when you're a YouTuber, because you should be okay with uploading content that might not necessarily get the most positive feedback, but you need to do it because you need to try it out. You have to get outside your comfort zone and do something a little bit different that might be looked at in a negative way, but now you tried it. Now I know whether or not it is going to be something that people actually enjoy watching. I think the main issue really is that my channel has turned into your channel and not my channel anymore. All the content that I'm uploading right now, my whole upload schedule is based on what you guys need to get. Because daily I will get requests for doing this type of tutorial or doing this course on this subject here. And I'll be like, oh, okay, that's what people want, so I have to give it to them. I think at some point along the way, I just kind of forgot about what makes me happy to put up on the channel. And that's what's going to be my 2020 goal. I want to make content that makes me happy. I want to try it out and see what sort of feedback it's going to get. It's probably going to get negative feedback as well as positive feedback, but I want to try it. And then in the future, I should hopefully reach a point where I don't feel burned out anymore, so I can actually start producing tutorials again. I'm not saying there won't be an occasional tutorial like here in this period here that I'm trying out, but it's not going to be something that I'm going to upload at a daily basis or at a weekly basis or something like that. It will just come up when I feel like making it. And just to be clear, I'm not saying there won't be any tutorials coming up on the channel, because during this period where I'm testing things out, I might feel like making a tutorials one day. I might feel like doing it, but I have to make the tutorial because I feel like doing it and not because I feel like I have to do it. Because people are requesting me every single day. People are requesting, when is the next object oriented PHP tutorial coming up? I've actually, just to mention it, and it might not be a good idea to mention it, but I'll just do it anyways. I have been working on completely redoing my original procedural PHP course. I think I'm about halfway done with the course, and I decided not to upload it until it was actually completely done and was ready to replace my original course. And I might actually consider whether or not I should just upload the first half now, since I've decided that, okay, so I'm probably not gonna be making tutorials every single day for the next long time. A lot of people are also very unhappy that my lesson material is something you have to be a Patreon supporter to do. But it was actually something that I started doing, I think about a year ago, because my subscribers on YouTube actually told me to do it because they wanted to support me and wanted to make sure that I actually was able to do this as a living. It's another really good example of me being scared of jumping into something, displeasing people, where I had to get the accept from my entire channel to do it before I had the courage to jump into it. And this time I just need to take this step into doing other types of content just with my own courage. I don't have to have the approval of other people in order to do this. I need to do this on my own and just sort of see if that actually turns out to become a good thing. Other than that, I actually feel very good about this video. I would be lying if I'm gonna sit here and say that I'm not scared of putting this video up on my channel, but I think it's a good step forward to make sure that the channel ends up being a healthy thing that grows in the future. As my girlfriend likes to put it, I'm sitting on a gold mine right now, but I'm just sitting on it. I'm not actually working on it. I'm just sitting on it. What are you doing? So it's very important that I keep working on the gold mine and don't just, sit and do nothing. I want it to evolve. I want it to go somewhere else. You can say hi to Bessie for a second. He wanted to say hi. Oh, you're such a cutie. Are you with Daddy at work again? He's here every day, actually, when I get to the office. I actually go to the office 7 days a week. And I get here at about 11, 12 o'clock in the noon, and I stay here till about 9 o'clock in the evening. That's just the work schedule that I actually enjoy having. So I'm not a morning person. That's what I'm trying to say. You enjoy being at work with your daddy. So cute. Oh. You are such a cutie. But besides that, I just want to say that I'm really thankful for all the support that I'm getting on the channel from people on YouTube and people on Patreon. I tried Googling myself at some point, and I actually noticed that I do actually pop up on other websites as well, on forums and stuff where they recommend. I actually got, there's another YouTuber on YouTube who is a hugely subscribed person when it comes to programming. And I was actually placed in his video as top I believe it was 25 YouTubers you should follow in order to become, you know, more acquainted with programming. So I was very proud of that. But besides that, I just want to say thank you. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end off the episode here and hope that you guys have a good start to the new year. There's been a bunch of events going on in the world right now, which is kind of chaotic and dramatic, but let's just wait and see if we're not gonna get a better year out of it so far. Oh, people are moving around upstairs and vacuuming. That's nice.